Hey there. Let's see if I can adjust this just right. That's better. How y'all doing? It's my work day is done finally, yay! And I get to come out and have an ocean swim after work. Man, last week was tough. Jeez Louise. So it was the first week. Last week was the first week back from the pandemic that I came back to work, and it was really tough adjusting after what was it, a year and a half of being away. But this week's not so bad. But it's a busy week at work because about to go live with the big project that I came here to work on. So I've got a lot of things to do. But I decided to take off. I'm going to go back to work after this for a little while, but come down here, have a swim in the ocean, and then have some dinner, and then go back to work for a little bit, and then I'll go to my Airbnb and call it a night. But I was thinking about something. Yumiko and I are considering what we're going to do next. Emily's still with us. She did go out and move out on her own just before the pandemic. She got her own apartment. But she came back when the pandemic struck, and the apartment that she was living in, hi Jeremy, was hit by, a lot of people got sick. So we took her home, and we had moved into a small place, and we moved into a bigger place, and had to pay like a boatload of money to get her out of that other place, and it was a very costly, expensive thing to pull her back. But we did, and we all hunkered down through the pandemic as a family. But now the pandemic is kind of passing, and we're kind of going, at least the world is kind of going back to normal. And Emily is, raring to go. She's got about 2 years left of college, and she's pretty much sure she wants to go do the dormitory thing or even do a sorority. She's got some schools in mind. She's doing real good in grades. She's on the dean's list this year. Yeah, she's really proud of her. She's just becoming a little her own person, right? So that leaves Yumiko and I with, what about us? What's next? And if you'd asked us last week, we probably would have said, well, maybe we'll go back to Japan. Kind of a strategic plan. Well, there was a reason to go back to Japan. First of all, it was on a practical sense. And then second of all, as we talked about it, we're like, wow, yeah, this really sounds like a good idea. On the practical sense, it was that we're kind of ready, we're kind of fed up with working. We're both kind of tired of working. And if we go back to Japan, we can retire or maybe semi-retire, depending on how soon we do it, and enjoy the wonderful Japanese healthcare system over there, which is a pittance compared to what it costs over here. We have to wait until 65 before we can start on the program here in the States, but we can hop right in over there. So maybe if we left within like the next 2 years, we could go over there. We could live a pretty simple life, maybe work part-time, and wait out until we're eligible for the medical coverage here, and then come back if we wanted to live here, or stay there if we wanted to stay there. So, but I really like Japan. Yumiko likes Japan. It all sounded pretty good. But then over the weekend we were talking and thinking, there's a lot of places in the United States that we haven't seen. Maybe we'll go somewhere here. Like we started thinking about different places. Pretty quickly we discounted the East Coast, just too far away. The Midwest, just no ocean. And then we started thinking maybe the Pacific Northwest. So we're kind of exploring via Google Earth and the like, various ways up and down maybe the Oregon to Washington State, somewhere along the coast. If we're going to be semi-retired, we don't have to worry about living too close to any urban centers, so we can be kind of maybe get a place out in the middle of nowhere. And I think we're both ready for that. Yumiko's, David said he loves it up there. Yeah, it's beautiful. Yumiko and I both met at Humboldt State University in Northern California, which is, Oregon Light, right up there, right on the Oregon border there. But that's not why I wanted to start this video. The reason I wanted to start this video is I wanted to comment on the growing sense of fear, trepidation, pain, weakness, and mental degradation. Is that degradation the right word? Well, we're mentally becoming incapacitated, beginning to decline mentally. Yumiko and I were the same. We were born in the same year. We're both 57 years old this year, and we are definitely we're well into the autumn of life, as I've liked to say, and we can definitely feel the decline coming. Aches and pains. Muscle tone starting to go away. Stamina. Not quite the same as it used to be. No, not quite the same. Innuendo? No, the innuendo's running fine. Interestingly, mental capacity, memory, definitely beginning to fade. Mental capacity, yeah, definitely. My CPU is definitely beginning to run down. I'm running out. 57, and it's only going to continue to decline from there. I could tell myself otherwise. I do exercise every day, and I eat really well, but in spite of that, it's still happening. And I'm not a doom and gloomer. It's just a fact. It's a fact, and I check with my peers, namely my wife. She's experiencing the same thing. My brother, who's just a few years younger than me, he's experiencing the same thing. Just about everybody I talk to this age describes the same thing, and those who are a little more senior, the same thing even more so. So the question then is, what is the time of life? Your grandma's 90 and she is still sharp as a tack. That's great. Maybe there's exceptions to that. I don't appear to be an exception. I appear to. It's a fact that just about all the men in my family. I can't think of really anyone, men in my family that's made it to 70. So we all die young. So the reason I'm saying this isn't forecasting doom and gloom, although I am forecasting doom and gloom. It's I'm on my way out. I'm in the autumn, headed into the winter of my life. Probably we'll be dead within 20 years, maybe even 15 years, quite likely. So the question then is, if I represent the statistical average, if the average man in my demographic lives to like 75 or 80 or something like that, what stage of life is the right time to take risks and to have adventures? Well, clearly, if you're given the experience of these years, it's when you're young, right? I pity the fool, to quote a man, who postpones all of that till retirement, thinking that they're going to be the same person that they were when they were younger, and be able to embark and experience in that like manner, to have those adventures and not have them in a more compromised way. Now maybe that's fine. Maybe you go into it expecting that. I'm suspicious that wouldn't be the case. I won't cite any examples. I could give some examples, some of the experiences I've had, some of the people that I've met, particularly since coming back, but I won't do that. I'll just simply say that my anecdotal experience and my time in becoming a senior citizen have suggested to me that the time to take risks, the time for the great life adventure, is when we're young. If not for simple fact that that's the time that we can make the mistakes and have a chance to recover, to get hurt and to recover fully, perhaps, to gamble, to lose money, fortune, and maybe have a chance to win it back. It becomes a little harder to do that when we're older, and get a little more set in our ways. It's hard to change that. So, just sharing that thought. Your grandmother's 96 and remembers hiding from Japanese soldiers in China and had to flee to Taiwan during the Chinese Civil War. Crazy how things have changed. Wow, those are some heck of a memories. Hiding from the Japanese soldiers, it just disappeared. Hiding from the Japanese. Here, I have my glasses. hiding from Japanese soldiers in China and had to flee to Taiwan during the Chinese Civil War. Wow. Goodness gracious. Well, I think I will go ahead and stop for now. I just wanted to get that thought out there. And now I'm going to clean up and had a great swim. Boy, that really does the job, you know? Just half an hour in the ocean. Yeah. So anyway, I'll do that, get back to work a little bit, have some dinner, read my book. Oh, I'm reading this book right now. If you follow my Instagram, I know it's kind of nutty. My wife told me, she said, she says, all I share is stuff anymore. There's weird stuff. I'm reading The Lives of a Cell. Highly recommended by Lewis Thomas. It's really opening my perspective. And if I ever had any question that free will might indeed be something we have, it's pretty much being eliminated by this book. I don't think we do. I think we're about as free as a chemical reaction. Okay. Hey, that'd be good on a t-shirt. Maybe I'll put that in the store. Take care, everybody. Have a great day. Be safe, but not too safe.